Scaling an affiliate or creator program in B2B can be really challenging. I've done that over the last few years, scaling, for example, PhantomBuster's affiliate program from 0 to 7 figures on annual recurring revenue. And having systems in place to scale faster and smarter has been fundamental. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an engine that will allow you to extract anyone, any creator, influencer, affiliate, or user mentioning your brand on LinkedIn. We're going to extract that post and we're going to classify this post into different categories so we can identify who's posting a playbook around your software, around your brand, so we can then identify if it's relevant enough to reach out and start a partnership or invite them to or program. So yes, it means that you can use it for finding affiliates, creators, or micro-influencers, but also you're going to have a database full of posts, full of creators posting about your brand and segmented per category. So for example, we're going to have users posting positive feedback around our brand, which means that then, for example, in my case, I constantly need bottom of the funnel for my LinkedIn ads. So I need social proof that I can reuse as a thought leadership ad. Then I know I have this database where I can go and quickly find this type of content. So I'm sure you can find different ways of using the engine we're gonna put in place now. So let's start having a look. As you can see, we're gonna only use two different tools, which are PhantomBuster and AirOps. And basically what we're gonna do is to extract companies' LinkedIn mentions, extract anyone posting about our brand. Then we're gonna send this via API to AirOps. Here we wanna calculate the engagement score. Engagement score in our case will be comments plus interactions, and the number we'll get here will help us identify if this post is relevant enough. Then we're gonna categorize each post into playbooks, tool list, positive customer feedback, negative customer feedback, and other. And this is what I meant before. We're gonna focus now and in today's video into playbook, but this system can be used for many other cases. So once we have playbooks identified and the engagement score, in my case, I want posts with 40 or more as an engagement score. That's for me relevant enough to reach out. We're gonna craft a LinkedIn outreach message and then send a message into Slack. And the reason why I'm sending this notification into Slack, I'm not just reaching out automatically on LinkedIn, it's just because I know this increases the chances of starting a more organic connection with the creator. In case you have a higher amount of users posting relevant playbooks around your brand, you can increase the engagement score as a filter, or you can just change the ending of this engine so you reach out directly on LinkedIn. That's gonna decrease your chances of getting a new creator onboarded, but anyway, that could save you a lot of time. Okay, so first thing you're gonna need is to go into LinkedIn, search for your company. I'm gonna, for example, try with PhantomBuster. I do this search and then I want only posts, and then I want to sort by top match. Just don't select latest here because then you're gonna have random posts and not all of them will be relevant for your brand. And then date posted, and here it really depends on how many users are posting and mentioning your brand. In some cases you're gonna need past month. In our case we go for past week. Show results, and this is important. We copy this link because this will be the input of the Phantom I'm gonna launch here. A Phantom, it's basically an automation, and here we want to find LinkedIn search export, which is the easiest Phantom to use. We click here, use now. We want to switch to advanced setup so we have more control over what we're doing. We paste or search here, click save, we continue, and then in my case I only want to extract 100 per launch. I click save, and then here you can select the launch frequency. In our case I want this only once as I'm just testing. Click save and you click launch. Now that our Phantom is running and extracting all these posts, what we want to do is to get our PhantomBuster API. We come here, we click into add API key, and we copy our new key. We go now into AirOps where we're gonna add our API key. Here we click settings, we go into secrets and we click create secret, and we just paste the API here. We give it a name and we paste our number here. We click save and this is done. First thing you want to do in AirOps is to create a grid. And here we click blank grid, we get this table. Here what we want to do is basically create different columns, so then we can map everything we are extracting from PhantomBuster. In the description of this video you're going to find a step-by-step process where you can copy and paste every prompt, find the column names, find everything needed so you can build this engine yourself. So you can see you'll find everything needed here. Okay, but now what we need is to find which column names do we need, and you're gonna find these here. So let's create different columns with these different names. Make sure that if it's a post URL, you create a column type that fits this. So for example, click add column. I know that most of them will be text. For example, for the name of the writer, we just click here and we create one. When it's the content, the post content, like let's click this option, and now that we wanted to get the link of our post, we just create this here and we name it the same way as it's on my Notion page. I already have my table, which I've saved here with this name, creator finder engine. Important to remember the name, but now we need an automation, we need a flow to actually send all this information that we are extracting in PhantomBuster to AirOps. I have my automation here, but you will have to start with a workflow. Just click here and create one from zero. And here are all the steps you need. Each of these blocks are one step. You go here, and as you can see, this is the name of the type of the step. Basically, for example, here it's call API. You click call API and you move it here. In my case, I don't want to do that as it's already set. By clicking here, you'll be able to configure what you need to do. But basically, let me show you on my Notion page. Here you will have to paste a URL with your Phantom ID, which I'm going to show you now how to find, and then here your PhantomBuster's API. You have these links here. You only need to replace this link with your Phantom ID. How to find your Phantom ID? Easy. We come here, we find the Phantom that we actually use for extracting everything, and on our link, this number between Phantoms and console, that's our Phantom ID. So we only need to replace this with our ID. We copy and we paste it under URL. And now same with headers. We paste this and we replace the key API with our PhantomBuster's API. So now second step here is to add this round code Python. We click here, and basically what we need to do here, as PhantomBuster doesn't return your data directly, it returns logs, we need to find the hidden JSON. And basically we paste this code here, which is on the Notion page. We click test and we see if it's actually working or not. We need to click test in every step. Once this is working, once we've identified the JSON, we need another call API step. And basically here we are downloading the results. We click here and we want to find the JSON link, the JSON URL that we found in the previous step. So we click output from the previous step, and here it is. We test and we see if it's working or not, and we continue. Then we add another run code Python block. We paste this code. We click test. In case this isn't working, AirOps has a really useful feature, which is the copilot, that will help you solve any error you may have. We continue, and now we add a read from grid block. And this step loads all our rows from our grid so we can see which post ID already exists in our grid. This is our way to avoid sending duplicated data to our grid. We select our table, remember we named it this way, and we click test and we continue. Now we add this round code Python, we click, and what we're doing here is filtering. We've read our grid here, but now we need to filter. We need to only return the rows whose post ID is not already in the grid to avoid sending duplicated data. And we continue, we add this last block, the right to grid. And what we do here is selecting our table, creator finder engine in my case. Here we want to select the output of our previous step, which is here. We click output, and now we want to map all our previously created columns from our table. Remember, we named them this way, and here you'll find likes. Then just try to make sure you find your likes here as well, and you do this with all of the columns so you're properly mapping data. And once this last step is done, is ready, just click test so we can double check that all the flow is properly working. We click publish and we go back to our table, to our AirOps script. And here we have everything we extracted from LinkedIn by using PhantomBuster. Now, what we want to do is to analyze the post content, each post content, to see if this is a playbook, if this is customer feedback, if this is just a tool list, or if it's another kind of post. I have already created my workflow, but you have to click add column, you create a new workflow and just select all these columns as an input and you create your workflow and you name it. Let me show you how to actually analyze. So I click here so I can show you what I've done. Super simple. You only need to add as a block a prompt LLM and just paste here the system prompt that you'll find on the Notion page, and same for the chat prompt. But basically here we want to find a category for each of our posts. So once this is done, we want to test if this is actually working or not. We click first 10 rows and we see if this is working. For example, I found that, this is one of the users posting about PhantomBuster, and I can see the post and it's actually a playbook, which can be relevant to me to then reach out. Another example, positive feedback reviews. Let's see. Today I'm exploring PhantomBuster and I've come to realize that it's more than just a tool. Okay, this can be interesting. Now we need an engagement score calculator. What this is going to do is to take these two numbers and get the total, and we'll use these as a way of filtering who is relevant enough to reach out or not. Okay, so same, we click here, add column, a new workflow, and this is what you have to do. Once we're here, we add this step, which is run code Python. You only have to paste the formula and code that you'll find on the Notion page, and then we just add this multiple outputs step to format all information. You give a name for the column you want, and then you click here and select the output for the previous step. So step 1, you click into output, and this is done. Click test, publish, and we go back to our grid. So remember, now you have a system that it's scraping, extracting LinkedIn posts, it's categorizing them into these different categories, and you're giving it an engagement score. So you could actually already use this for other cases. But what I want to do is to only reach out and craft this outreach message to users posting playbooks, because this is the kind of creators that I want, and then with a minimum engagement score of 40. So from this 10, I know that the only relevant enough is this creator. So what I want to do is to create another workflow, and I want to craft this outreach message. So we go here, and basically here we're just filtering. So if the post is a playbook and has an engagement score of 40 or more, we continue with the process. So we add this run code Python, we paste this code that you'll find on the Notion page, we test it, and we add this condition step where we paste this. If it's true, we run this LLM step where we basically paste this system prompt to craft organic and natural outreach messages. Remember that we're just trying to connect for the first time with a creator, so we try to make it in a natural and real way. So here we also paste this user prompt. We take test and we see if it's working as we expected, and now we only need to add this write liquid text when the condition is false. And we have our last flow ready. We click test, we click publish, and we go back to our create. And here is an example of the output of the prompt we've created. Hey Jeremy, love your PhantomBuster playbook, especially the AI enrichment step for filtering perfect matches. We have a creator program worth having a chat to see how we can find synergies. If you find that this isn't what you wanted as a message, just click edit workflow again and come to the LLM step. Click here refine, and just give some feedback until you get the result you want. And that's basically it. And as I said, what I like to do is to send a Slack notification with the crafted message, with the name of this creator, with the post URL. So then I manually connect with them, and after they've accepted the connection, I just send this message as a starting point of our conversation. But you can continue adding steps so you automate the process of connecting and reaching out. And as you can see, we've built now the first part of a more complex engine, which in this case it's being used for finding influencers, creators, and affiliates, but can be reused for many other cases. I hope you found this video helpful. You can subscribe to the channel or find me on LinkedIn for more content like this. I help B2B companies scale faster with growth engines. In case you need help scaling yours, just reach out to me on LinkedIn or book a call with me on the link you'll find in the description. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.